leadership of the university. Because of time, I'm not going to go around doing protocol, but leadership, management, both ECS and executive management committee members, leaders of the different centers of excellence within the university, president of the SRC and your team, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this special session with the Deputy Minister of Higher Education and Training, Honorable Buti Manamela. We are in Professor Mohalo's house. He's the king of the jungle after all. Let's ask him to come and make a few welcoming remarks. Haris.
Thanks, Rick. Honorable Deputy Minister and your colleagues, my colleagues in the executive management of the university, the senior managers here present, students who are here. I think I'm not going to go into lengthy protocols. We always start. Well, apologies, a remark. The minister is pressed for time. We're going to cut everything short, so please don't fight and say, yeah, we know. They don't take us serious. If ever there's anybody who takes us serious, is the DM. So we'll do that. Honorable Minister, thank you for having made time to come to the University of Limpopo, one of the longest serving young public servants in South Africa. You know, you started there as a deputy minister in 2017, but before that, you were a well-represented MP in the National Assembly. And that has prepared you thoroughly and sharpened you to appreciate all the challenges facing higher education in our country and the continent. Some of these challenges include a shortage of space for the hundreds and thousands of young, aspiring matriculants who unfortunately cannot all be accommodated by the University of Limpopo. We received over 330,000 applications for the 5,000 spaces we have. So that just shows how much we really do. The University of Limpopo, in the main, we serve those from quintiles 1, 2, and 3 schools, and majority of them rely on NSFAS. That's why 70% of our students almost, they are the beneficiaries of the NSFAS grants. Having said that, I think as a university, we're trying our best under trying circumstances to make sure with the little we have, we provide quality higher education. All our programs are registered, be it with CHE or SAQA, and some of those which are professional in nature, they are registered with the professional bodies. I'm just thinking of accountancy, which is registered with the South African Institute of Chartered Accountants, our education degrees, our healthcare qualifications, law, management, you name them. The University of Limpopo, we pride ourselves in that we only offer approved quality programs. Our institution continues to prioritize engaged scholarship, with many of our academics rated highly by the National Research Foundation. This will ensure that the communities all benefit from the work we do around us. Our campus infrastructure is solid and well kept to provide a teaching and learning environment, research depth, and enriching campus experience, and an invigorating atmosphere for ongoing development of all who are here. Even our communities, they do come from time to time to share with us these facilities. I was the other day amused that the Limpopo Department of Education, I think they are organizing sports event for the small ones at the provincial level, and at the same time, the police were adamant that on that day, we want to use facilities of the University of Limpopo. So that's the demand, and that's what encourages us to keep them looking as they are. Coming out of administration, we pledged ourselves to rebuild. We toiled against odds to grow this institution to where it is today. Took a lot of sacrifice from our students, staff, parents, and community at large. The leadership of the University of Limpopo had to take a hard line against the recent unfounded allegations and aspersions which threaten the very heritage of our country and pose a huge risk to the pride of more than 150,000 alumni of this university. We have steadfastly insisted that the University of Limpopo, as a creature of the Higher Education Act, will always submit itself to the Department of Education. Equally so, we have confidence in the ability of the Department of Higher Education to provide leadership and hold us accountable, but do so fairly and in keeping with appropriate laws. It is our hope that the visit today will accentuate the quality of this institution and put it up to scrutiny to assess the University of Limpopo to grow, and as it has been doing for the past 65 years. You will hear from different stakeholders who all agree that although we may face challenges from time to time, the University of Limpopo is fully functional. We never go out, Honorable Minister, to the department to say, could we please be bailed out? We're balancing quality education, access to it, with financial sustainability. Welcome to the cradle of leadership, where most of them, including our current President Cyril Ramaphosa, started, in the cradle of humankind, where everything we do is guided by our lifelong quest towards finding solutions for Africa. The journey to the next 65 years has begun, and we are only grateful to be part of that. Thank you.
Mkharizi. Thank you very much, Prof. Mohalo. I was supposed to do the purpose of the day, but I'll sum it up in two quick jokes, Minister, Deputy Minister. You have a sense of humor. The first joke is a donkey and a tiger were arguing, a leopard. And the leopard looks up and says, hey, what a blue sky we have. The donkey says, no, man, that's green. They argue so much until they say, let's go to the lion and he will tell us who of us is right, but whoever is wrong must be punished severely. The leopard gets to the lion and says, Majesty, this fool is arguing with me. I'm telling him the sky is blue and he's insisting it's green. The lion looked up and said, hey, donkey, you are right. The sky is green. And then the donkey went out jumping, doing the tualasa. Hey, I told you. And the lion punished the leopard severely. After the punishment, the leopard comes to the lion and says, Your Majesty, but you know the sky is blue. Why did you punish me and let that fool get away with it? The lion said, because I expect a cat like you to know not to argue with donkeys. As a proud alumnus of this university, Deputy Minister, and this is emotional for me, 40 years ago I came here as a first-year student. I have had to endure a lot of falsehoods about this alma mater of mine. And I really hope that one day the lion will say, the sky is green. Stop arguing with people who don't have their facts right. The last thing I'll say is about the heritage of this institution and the value which I believe the people of Limpopo don't quite appreciate. I heard this joke in Zimbabwe. A young man, let's call him Malisela, comes from Hamutapo, and he's from a poor family, and his grandmother comes to the Limpopo Provincial Administration. And she says, my child is going to drop out of school if you don't help him. The premier says, no, let's rally around, let's get money, let's send this kid to school. The guy gets a degree qualification and he goes to Harvard or wherever it is. He comes back and he starts working out in the US or wherever. And then the premier goes to visit the grandmother after about 2 years of the son having worked in the States. And she says, how is your son doing? And the grandmother says, what a fool. He is out there, he's doing nothing for the family. The premier says, really? She says, yeah. He doesn't send anything home, nothing? She says, no, nothing. She's just sending me pictures of old white men. Says, do you still have these pictures? I say, yeah, I have them. What can I do? My foolish grandson. I have to keep the gifts from. They open and they find, oops, a kist full of dollars. I suspect that in the University of Limpopo and South Africa, Deputy Minister, has a kist full of dollars. And somehow, our sense of valuation is off the mark. And often the treatment this university gets downplays that value. So I'm glad that you are here, and you will find that this sky is actually very blue. And this university is full of dollars and gold bars. That is a pity the world doesn't get to see. Welcome once again to the alma mater. Professor Masha is the registrar. In corporate terms, he would be the secretary of the company. So he knows more about how blue the sky is, and he knows how many dollar bills we have in our kist. He's the registrar, and he's going to do a presentation about the university and its state of readiness. Minatu.
Thank you. Good morning, Honorable Deputy Minister and the entourage, my boss and colleagues. Thanks for this task. It is not my task, it is our task. We have been sharing these presentations with the delegation, so they have the details of this presentation. And as such, I'm just going to really rush through it. And I think colleagues here, as I said, we have an idea of what's happening and what has been happening here at the university. This part, for example, is one of those well-known parts. And yes, I just want to really outline something here so that I can give you a brief of what the university does. Since the COVID-19 experience, we have gone into remote online registration plans. And initially we were doing it annually, and then now we have moved to do it for every 2 years. So we have 2-year rolling plans for online registration plans, making sure that our registration goes as smoothly as possible. Each year, if we pick up a new thing, we bring it into this plan. So all the colleagues who were introducing themselves the other side are part of this plan and always monitoring it. The success of the plan, the success of our activity on registration really can be pinpointed to this annual plans, remote online registration plan. It is a booklet that has all the divisions, inclusive of SRC, inclusive of everybody, making sure that we succeed. And so as we see then, the demand or the way the nation, community, students respond to our university in terms of applications and their appetite to start with us, we aren't surprised that we have over 300,000 applications per year. I think we're now sustaining that. But there is one thing that I want to highlight, Deputy Minister. If you check on the other side, we have calculated the ratios of the applicants per space. And you have 60 to 1, for example, that is out of every 60 at University of Johannesburg. They will take 1 for that, for admission. And if you go down the line, the University of Limpopo is 61 to 1, saying that we are, in terms of the that ratio, we are the second. So that tells you how expensive a space is at the University of Limpopo. And that's why we take it so seriously, that we must make sure that this expensive space at the university is well looked after. And the students are looked after very well. That's why we put all our efforts into this. And also we're giving you the top 10 programs in terms of demand. You can see that 85 spaces that are for foundation phase, they are attracting 41,000 applications. That's really expensive space that we are allocating at the university. So as a collective, the deanery in the Faculty of Humanities, the director of School of Education, the head of department, they must treat it as such, that this is a very expensive space to look after. This one is just to indicate that we are done with our admissions, and we just now doing the masters and doctoral, those who are continuing their studies in terms of research. So we have done our registration 10 to 24 January, and then the F10s, we did that from 23 to 7th, and that's why we are now all attending classes, and as the VC said, they are now taking the exams. Just a quick one here, that also we are investing in staff development. You can see the number of PhDs among the staff is growing all the time, but we also are doing the enhancement of academics as university teachers, so that the quality of input into our teaching and learning is always looked after. And there is also this that is playing a very critical role in terms of our planning. That is our university calendars. Already we have 2027 and 2026 university calendars, well balanced. And because we are capable of studying well on time, all these days are serving as critical inputs into the quality that the VC was talking about. So that's why then we are able to also plan for these days well in advance. And we are very thankful also for our CFO, who is playing a very critical role in this area. We thought we should also just indicate that research, we're treating it very seriously, and I think you'll agree with us, if you look at the combination of this research niche areas, this university is really hitting above, way above where it is supposed to be. And all this are very futuristic in their orientation. Of course, starting with Professor Mwepe is here, looking after the energy. And I normally tell people that we are the next Saudi Arabia and Dubai. Because in terms of the energy, if we are moving towards the batteries as the future, then University of the Limpopo is already there. It's playing in that league already. So once the oil is depleted there, we are Dubai. Already the students are saying this side of the campus is the Dubai campus. Which is very interesting. Of course, students are well supported. We have all support structures in place: Center for Academic Excellence, Center for Student Counseling Services, Reagona Disability Unit, and Health Center looking after quite a number of innovative ideas here, and also UL Sport that is growing. We're looking into high performance center as part of that UL Sports. Finance, here I was going to call my CFO, but I think you are better placed to interpret this, that we are doing well financially. But there is one thing that we like to indicate, it is that roundish thing in terms of the, no, not that one, 4,500 beds facility, that we are very proud that we are really funding that from within. And it is the biggest in terms of the investment in the sector. And in fact, that is 65% increment of our current capacity of students' res, all at once. And that's really something that we are very proud of. This infrastructure, I think, is well appreciated when you see the video of what is that we are doing. The president did say the country must be converted into a construction place. University of Limpopo has done exactly that. So it doesn't matter which way you are working on campus, you are likely to see a construction activity going on. And that's because of our appreciation of the work that the ministry has given to us. This is just students living with disability, and we pride ourselves with this one. That's why we really had to include it in the presentation. That these are now end suits for our students living with disability. So each one is allocated really a proper home to feel much better than, way much better than at home, so that the university can be regarded as home. And that's where our investment is. Of course, we are here around the Dubai campus. but this investment also is not just carrying our dreams for now. We know we are moving into mining and engineering, so we are already preparing ourselves for admissions and registrations in this area. This one, of course, our 4,500 beds, that we say we are increasing it by 62.5%. And our fleet, one of the best in the country, in the sector, is carrying our brand with so much pride. Thank you. I think this really is the short part of it. Similarly, they will do the
Yeah, this Dubai has me worried. Just because of what I read about Dubai, you know, maybe we find another name. Mr. President, can students find another name, man? Dubai is in all the wrong songs at the moment. We might have to find another. Thank you very much, Prof. Masha. I know you are very passionate about this. If you allowed him to speak any further, Deputy Minister, he was going to start turning and getting more animated. So I'm glad that you will have this presentation, and we will put together a short video and send it over again to your office. We are here for the students. The university exists only because of the students, and they are represented here by their president, SRC President Kamogelo Poto. He's here. Make a few remarks, Mr. President. You have been elected. You are in your second term, right? So don't make a political speech.
Thanks very much, Program Director. Before I start, let me just assure everyone, including students that are here, that we're not going to change the name of this place. It's University of Limpopo Dubai campus. So, on behalf of the SRC, let me extend my greetings to the Honorable Deputy Minister, Mr. Buti Manamela, the Vice Chancellor and Principal of University of Limpopo, Professor Matlomo Khalong, all esteemed guests here, university leadership, students, and colleagues in the SRC. It is both an honor and a privilege to stand before you today as we engage in meaningful discussions about the state of higher education, particularly here at the University of Limpopo. Now, I'm not familiar with this technology. So, but Honorable Deputy Minister, I think before I make any remarks, it would be injustice to leave these issues out. Let me say to you that our students face significant financial and academic challenges, especially those who depend on NSFAS. Delays in disbursements of allowances leave many stranded, struggling to afford food, rent, and essential learning materials. Inconsistent allowances from NSFAS result in unnecessary anxieties that affect students' academic performance and mental well-being. Furthermore, we have many first-entering students who have applied for NSFAS and are provisionally funded, but unfortunately NSFAS alleges that they have applied for TVET funding and therefore they cannot fund them here in the university. We hold a strong view as the SRC that NSFAS funding for universities and TVET colleges is one, as the category for this funding is one, and that is being poor. The poverty in TVET colleges and universities is one, and therefore we appeal to our consciousness, Deputy Minister, to ensure that this group of students receive their funding for 2025 academic year, as they have registered and have no means to pay for their education and monthly groceries as well as rent. Their poverty remains even today, and NSFAS has approved them. So please give these students their funding. We all appeal to your leadership again to ensure that NSFAS sends all allowances due to University of Limpopo students to the university so disbursements can be done to allow students to purchase learning materials as well as pay accommodation. We want to also say, despite these challenges, we must also acknowledge the remarkable strides the University of Limpopo has taken to improve student life. The ongoing construction of 4,500 new beds accommodation is a historic step towards addressing our long-standing accommodation crisis. This development will increase the university's accommodation capacity by 62.5%, reducing student reliance on expensive and sometimes unsafe off-campus housing. Additionally, the recently completed state-of-the-art Earth Science building, which we find ourselves in, otherwise known as University of Limpopo, Dubai campus, is a testament to the university's commitment to academic excellence and innovation. This facility will not only enhance research and learning, but also position our university as a leader in the science field. Honorable Deputy Minister, allow me to take this moment to assure you and all stakeholders that the University of Limpopo is under sound and stable governance. Under the leadership of our university management, we continue to witness transformation and growth that directly benefit students and the broader academic community. As the SRC, we also want to say we remain committed to ensuring that the voices of students are heard and that challenges are addressed, and that we work collaboratively with all stakeholders to build a university that truly serves the interest of its students. The SRC just recently now, during registrations, working closely with the university management, we are proud to announce that we have successfully facilitated the registration of over 4,000 students from disadvantaged backgrounds who had no financial assistance, completely free of charge. This milestone is a clear demonstration of our unwavering commitment to student access to education, regardless of their financial background. It is also solid evidence that the University of Limpopo operates under sound and stable governance, where students' needs are prioritized, and decisive action is taken to ensure that no deserving student is left behind, as education is not a commodity, but a right afforded to all, rich and poor. We remain committed to working with all stakeholders to create a university that upholds the principles of accessibility, transformation, and academic excellence. Honorable Deputy Minister, we want to say we appreciate your presence here today, and we look forward to your continued support in addressing the pressing issues, particularly those of NSFAS students, while celebrating the positive strides our university is making. To everyone here, students who are forming part of the choir, as the SRC president, let me assure all of you that the university is in good position to start this academic year. We've already started with our test. Everything is moving smooth as per the plan of the university for 2025. Let us listen to the minister, deputy minister, and everyone who's going to speak here. But from us, we want to assure you that everything is fine, and we have no issues at all, despite for NSFAS. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Mr. President. Kamohelo Poto spoke very well. I'm sure, Deputy Minister, you agree, a balanced presentation. He's not a renter crowd, this one. He speaks the truth, but he also balances. And we appreciate that, Mr. President. I'll learn to say Dubai campus. So we will move to remarks by the Deputy Minister, because I don't think we will have enough time for discussions as we had envisaged. We know the Deputy Minister has 2 other commitments in Limpopo. So let's welcome. Choir, I told you, 2 minutes in the right tempo to usher the Deputy Minister. He loves music and he's going to tweet about you.
Thank you. Thank you very much for that, the choir program director, vice chancellor, the members of the senior management, the vice chancellors who are here, and directors, but also the SRC president, together with the SRC executive, and the officials from the NSFAS, who I think the president of the SRC, I will point them to you. If you haven't met them already, they've given me reports that they are already working on some of the issues. And I think they will work together with the SRC to resolve the issues related to the NSFAS, and that's why we brought them here. I really appreciate Vice Chancellor, the opportunity to engage with and visit the University of Limpopo, because this is one of the critical institutions in our higher education landscape, with a very rich history, and I'm very encouraged by the commitment to academic excellence, student success, but also the impact that it has on the community around us. I think Mankweng becomes vibrant because there's the University of Limpopo. And it's quite exciting to hear, Vice Chancellor, that even the community fights as to who must use this resource, including some of our government agencies. The university has positioned itself as a hub of knowledge, knowledge production, research, and also student development. And the emphasis on quality assurance is important, professional accreditation, and strong academic leadership is commendable. And for us, institutions like this must continue to thrive not just in producing graduates, but also in shaping the future of our country through innovation and through scholarship. The solid infrastructure that I'm so eager to and waiting to see, and your commitment to research and vibrant student life that the University of Limpopo offers, I believe are a testament to its role in empowering young people with the skills and knowledge to contribute to the economy and society. And we must ensure that these strengthens and reinforce and leverage to expand access, enhance quality, and also deepen the impact that the university is making. A consistent concern, as I said when I started, raised by the registrar and the SRC has been the NSFAS disbursement challenges, the delays in allowances, the unresolved appeals, and uncertainty surrounding private accommodation funding. And I think the leadership, Vice Chancellor and everyone in the institution that is taking as it relates to student accommodation is quite commendable. But I believe that some of the issues that has been raised as it relates to the NSFAS will be resolved. The NSFAS, as we've consistently said in this visits to our universities, TVET colleges, and community colleges, serve students not to create further obstacles. This is important, that the NSFAS serves students not to create further obstacles. And we will engage with the leadership of the NSFAS to ensure that the financial aid process is streamlined, disbursements are made timeously, and institutional collaboration is strengthened to avoid future disruptions. But I think we must accept that if 70% of students in the University of Limpopo are NSFAS funded, and that we started classes on time, it also means that the NSFAS played an important and crucial role as it relates to that 70%. And part of the reasons why, yes, we had pockets of challenges throughout the country, but I think we have to accept, SRC President, that the challenges that we face this year from NSFAS and every year moving forward shows that we're making progress into changing their systems, keeping them up to date, but more importantly, making the NSFAS a student-centered agency of our government. The shortage of student accommodation, of course, remains a pressing concern, not only here, even at some of the TVET colleges, and I hear even some of the private colleges. And we are, part of the reasons we're trying to spend more time, I think, doing the work is also so that we free up some time so that we go and see go and visit the institution where allegedly 4 students were raped, to go and check as to what's the story. And part of the problems relates to issues around infrastructure and private accommodation. And quite pleased that the university is investing 4,500 bed student housing project at this university. It's quite exciting to hear the work that has been done in mining and mineral processing here, together with work in renewable energy, in logistics and transport, but also in the health and health sciences. We should not take for granted, and I think the emphasis, Vice Chancellor, you made together with yourselves, Registrar, of the fact that programs here are quality assured and recognized by professional bodies. We should not take it for granted that because the University of Limpopo has been here for decades, therefore the programs that they provide are in line with the requirements of our quality assurance. And I think that emphasis is important. We've seen some universities falter in this regard, and we always work with them to give them the kind of support. Yes, the university leadership has expressed concerns about recent allegations relating to, as you say, scrutiny in the public domain. I think the humor that the program director was unleashing was somewhat related to that. I want to reiterate that our approach as government will always be guided by the Higher Education Act and the principles of fairness, institutional autonomy, and accountability. Where issues require intervention, I think we will do so maturely and responsibly, and always in the best interest of students, staff, and the institution itself. We serve the country and not ourselves. It is equally important that institutions, of course, remain transparent, accountable, and committed to good governance, and that we should not fall prey, particularly as public representatives and those who are supposed to hold these institutions accountable to malicious intents, to rumors, and to any other thing that is short of evidence when we unleash allegations of the sort that has been referred to. And so I think for us, it is about strengthening the what works and not undermining institutional instability. And that we should act with the knowledge that whatever we say about the institution always reverberates, whether positive or negative, and can remain either a negative dent, and people use that as the basis to judge whether they should consider working with or studying at this institution. I want to commend the SRC leadership for working constructively with the university to ensure a smooth registration process. I'm hearing this a lot these days from the university SRCs, at Wits, at Solplak, and now here, where the SRC is taking leadership. And I think that one of the things we've said to the NSFAS was that we need to empower our SRCs to know what kind of assistance they should give to students, because they are at the front line. By the time the NSFAS itself gets there, together with Financial Aid Office, the first port of call is the SRC, and I think we need to give them that capacity to be able to engage. And moving forward, as I said, we have the NSFAS here, and they will help resolve all of those issues, but I leave this meeting confident in the university's leadership, committed to resolving the concerns of students, and optimistic about the future of this institution. We should work together to ensure that the University of Limpopo continues to be a beacon of academic excellence, student empowerment, and community transformation. Thank you very much for listening.
All right. Thank you very much, Deputy Minister. You never speak for longer than the time allocated. This time you spoke for even less. And I've seen it happen many times before, so it's not a fluke. We have made good progress, Vice Chancellor. I'm just going to beg your indulgence that there's a center of excellence here that we have to see, which is the Materials Modeling Center. Professor Ngwepe is sitting there at the back. The only academic I know who's been honored by the Chinese, in fact, the first African, because of the work he did in this regard. So it's not far from here. It's a few steps across. And then, of course, we will drive past the residence, because that's important. And then, Vice Chancellor, could I take a long shot and say the Reagona Disability Center is the only aspect, Deputy Minister, the university the only aspect where we can attract the top 20 matriculants in the country is with disabled students, because of the facility that we think you should see.